Huntsville is growing fast, and somewhere between I want to own property and I have generational wealth, there is apparently a lot of structured decision-making required.
That's exactly what Veronetta Johnson covers, building real wealth through real estate, from equity and leverage to financing strategy and long-term holding. Let's start with what that actually looks like in practice.
The premise here is straightforward, but worth saying plainly. Real estate wealth is not about catching the right moment or getting lucky on appreciation. It is about a repeatable, disciplined process. And the Post lays out exactly what that process involves.
The framing is direct from the start. Sustainable wealth comes from consistent decision-making and a clear understanding of how property values, financing, and market cycles interact.
That word consistent is doing a lot of work there. The argument is that most people enter real estate emotionally, hoping for fast appreciation or easy rental income, and that impulse is precisely what undercuts long-term results.
The Post builds this out across several pillars. Equity comes first, described as forced savings, because mortgage payments steadily build ownership in a real asset, unlike rent, which builds none. Then appreciation, rental income, and leverage each get their own treatment.
Leverage is the one that deserves a second look because it cuts both ways. Controlling a large asset with a small amount of capital magnifies gains when values rise, but it also magnifies exposure when conditions shift.
Right, and the Post is careful about that. Leverage requires conservative budgeting and a clear understanding of financial obligations. The same logic applies to financing strategy. Interest rates and loan terms directly shape profitability, and poor financing choices can reduce returns even in strong markets.
Property selection ties it together. Location, school districts, job proximity, future development, these are the variables that separate assets that perform from ones that merely sit there.
And on timing, the Post argues that long-term consistency beats short-term market prediction. Wealth is built by holding quality assets through multiple cycles, not by finding a perfect entry point. Tax advantages, inflation hedging, value-add strategies, and cash flow reserves all reinforce the same core discipline.
So the whole framework is less about finding a deal and more about not making the decisions that quietly erode one.
The through line across all of this is patience. Equity, appreciation, and income compound over time, not overnight.
Next time, we'll see what else is on the horizon for Huntsville buyers and investors.